Welcome back for another episode with your favorite Project Lead the Way teacher, Mr. Spaeth. Today we're going to be using AutoCAD Inventor and using additive and subtractive modeling to make some of our puzzle pieces for our puzzle cube for our Introduction to Engineering Design class. One thing that we should have right away is our thumb drive that you got from your teacher. You hopefully talked about it today and where you get them and how you put them back. So please put that in your computer now. And you should see a little note pop up right in the corner if it does. Yep. So what I want it to do is continue without scanning. And it should show up as Transcend as your iDrive or something like that. So I'm going to show you my screen so you can see all that stuff. But we're going to take you through Inventor today and make sure we set up a project and then get our first couple puzzle pieces done. Okay, so what popped up was this screen right here. This is called Transcend. This is our thumb drive, okay? So I want to put a folder on there. I want to right-click, and I want to go to New Folder, and then let's just put down Puzzle Cube, okay? So what I want to make sure is that we all have the same names right here, as well as don't change this Transcend at all to, I don't know, Mr. Pickles or something like that, because I would love to see Transcend in there when I come and help you out in my classroom. All right, next thing we want to do, go to 4.1G in the projectleadtheway.org website. So I have that open right now. It is published for you guys. There's an assignment that goes along with it, but we're not going to go through that right now. There's actually just a PowerPoint that I want you to look at called Additive Subtractive Modeling.pptx. Open that up for me, and I'm only opening this right now so we can get some puzzle pieces to design, okay? And so this is going to be our first puzzle piece right here. And we've seen this part before. We've made this as an isometric drawing, as a multi-view, a lot of different ways we've looked at this part. This slide specifically, slide number 8, is what I want, because this starts our additive method in AutoCAD Inventor. And it also has our dimensions, which we're going to need for Inventor, and that'll be very, very important. So additive, just a quick side here. Additive, we're talking about welding, gluing, fastening, joining. Okay, so this is done in real life as well as in AutoCAD modeling. So let's open up AutoCAD Inventor. And again, the first thing that we need to do, hopefully this is a reminder for you, is set up our project path. There we are. Again, we can just click on this screen. If it comes up, just say OK. And then it'll show this screen. Again, we don't want this one. So I'm going to cancel out of it and just go New in our Mesmer folder. Okay. And here's where I want to click on Projects. Okay. Okay. Can't find the terrain project that I normally have up. But we would want to go New single user project. We're going to call this our Puzzle Cube. And then we are going to click on this little button right there and find on our computer our Puzzle Cube folder. So under Transcend, under Puzzle Cube, click OK. Finish. Puzzle Cube has a check mark next to the box, so that means it's our active project. If we wanted the default one as our active, I would double click and that'd be it. So double click on my Puzzle Cube folder and we're good to go. So what I want to do, again, go to that Mesmer folder, pick a part file, because we're going to start our drawing in a part file. And we're going to kind of follow along with what we have right here. So in this part, notice we're going to make this back surface first, and this is typically how I make parts. I find the biggest surface, I make that one first, and then I make the little extra block coming out from it. So we're going to draw as a sketch this block right here. So let's watch how I do this for a second. I'm going to start a 2D sketch. Because I want this oriented a certain way, I am going to pick the XY plane. Okay, and now I'm just going to back out a little bit here. I'm going to take a line, and I need to go up 1.5 inches and over 1.5 inches. Put in this little missing piece right there, go all the way back down, and then over. So let's see how I do that. So notice I'm going to place it right here where it says I have a line showing at 90 degrees. I don't want a line at 68 or 105, and all I'm doing right now is just right-clicking, okay? And now notice this part that says 1.087 inches is highlighted right now. That means I can type in that field. So if I type in 1.5 and push enter, it gave me a line that's 1.5 long. All I did was zoom out a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing this way. So 90 degrees again, type in 1.5, and good. 90 degrees, 0.75. 90 degrees, 0.75. And now notice I don't even need to click here. It automatically snaps to 0.75. So I'm just going to click, and then I need a closed surface. So meaning I need a surface that goes all the way around and connects back to itself. So I do need to put this line in right here as well. So I'm just going to right-click back where I started. Okay, I always then right-click, push OK, and finish my sketch. Okay, so I just, if you're zoomed out weird, just remember to hit that home button, get back to where you were. Now, this sketch needs to be, we call extruded, 0.75 inches, because each one of our little cubes here is 0.75 inches by 0.75 inches by 0.75 inches. Okay, so very, very easy when we're setting things up in Inventor, because it's always a multiple of 3/4 of an inch. Notice this is 2 cubes big, so I was 1.5 inches. That's just 0.75 plus 0.75. And if you noticed in my sketch, I can always go back to it if I want to change something up. Let's say I want to make this 2 inches instead. I can always go back in here and change things up. If I made my picture wrong or it doesn't look right, no big deal, okay? If I want to highlight something and delete it, I just got to click on it, press delete. All right, and I always add it back in there. Okay, I didn't like when I did that. I got some green lines here, but we'll talk about what that means later. And then the last dimension that I'm going to have on these is just 3 blocks thick. So I have 2.25 inches. That's just 0.75 multiplied by 3. Okay. All right, so I'm going to finish that sketch. Again, hit my home button here, so I'm back to where I started. I'm going to hit the extrude button, and it's going to find the only surface that I have. Now, the distance that it has right now, there's a couple different ways I can do this. I can extrude it to a distance, which is what I want. Extrude it to another surface if I have one, or between 2 surfaces if I have 2 surfaces there. I want to extrude it to a distance of 0.75. Okay, we have really no other options right here, right now, and so we're just going to leave it at that. There's a couple different things in here that we'll talk about later. But 0.75 inches, click OK. Okay, so there is my first part. I just created that part right there. Next thing I want to do is create my second little block that's kind of hanging off the front of it. And this time, all I need to do is create a 2D sketch. Instead of picking a surface, or sorry, a axes that I had before, so I had my origin axes, my YZ, XZ, and XY planes. This time, all I'm doing is picking a surface. I'm going to pick this surface to create a sketch on. That way, when I extrude it, I extrude from that surface. Okay. So again, I'm just going to create a rectangle this time because it's actually a perfect little square, 0.75 inches by 0.75 inches. So I'm going to start in the corner, move on up over here. Notice my horizontal line is what I'm measuring first because that's the one that's highlighted. So I'm going to say 0.75, and then I'm going to hit the tab button. The tab gets me to the other dimension. Really, really nice feature. So I go 0.75 again, click enter, and there we have our nice little square. So I'm going to right-click, select OK, finish my sketch, extrude again, and it remembers that I had it at 0.75, so I'm all ready to go right now. But I want to show you a couple more things. Now we have some other options because we're extruding on another surface. So this one right here, if I can hover over them and get them to change, I can't. So if I wanted to extrude backward, meaning I wanted to take out material, I would use this cut material button instead of this other one that's called join. Okay, if I wanted to intersect two surfaces and just leave the material where those two surfaces intersect, I rarely use this one, but it is an option. We can do that. These two are really, really important. And if you're screwing up on your extrusion, it's because you may have either the join or the cut selected improperly. Okay, so if I wanted to cut something, and let's just cut it 0.5 inches. Look what that does for us. Let's see if we can get a better view for you. But it cut out that material. That's called subtractive modeling. Sometimes it's easier to cut material out than it is to add more material on. And so a lot of using Inventor is finding the best and fastest way to do something because there's 1,000,001 ways to make different parts. That's okay. Find what works best for you. If cutting out material works best, great. If adding more material on works best for you, awesome. Do that too, okay? So this is not how I want this extrusion. If I want to change it up, we got to go into our browser bar. Notice our first extrusion was this one. So this is our features right over here. And then if I open up this little plus box, it shows our sketch. Okay, and I showed how when I went back into my sketch and changed some dimensions, it changed up my part. I'm going to do the same thing, except my sketch is fine, but I don't like my extrusion. So I'm going to double click on it, and notice I'm back into the space where I was when I was showing you how this extrusion cut and intersect and join works. This time I want to go on join, the one I should have been on before, and I want to go 0.75. And instead of this direction going in, I want to go the other direction out. So notice you can change those. I can even go halfway in between, which is kind of weird. We use that every now and then when we want to make things symmetrical. And then we can do it asymmetrically if we want to as well. It just gives us, so how much distance this way, how much distance that way. We're just going to use the one distance. It shows you which way it's going. This little yellow arrow on your part shows you which way it's going to extrude. This is the way I want. I want to join. I'm going to click OK, and there's my part. Okay, now I can change up my color if I want to. Let's say this is going to be my blue piece. Of course, denim blue doesn't work all that great. We can find sky dark blue. That works for me. Okay, so after we're done with this, we're going to go save as. Notice we are in our puzzle cube folder. This old version part, don't worry about that. That always shows up whenever you make something in Inventor. So just to show that we are in the place where we need to be and that our project folder is picked correctly, if I click on this drop down, it'll say desktop, computer, transcend, puzzle cube, which is exactly where I want to be. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to call this my blue piece. Click save, and there we are. Okay, very, very easy. So on that one I used additive modeling. We could also do subtractive modeling, and I kind of showed you how to do that. I would say the easiest way to make this part, though, would be additive modeling. Just making that first surface, okay, like we did with our extrusion here. Making that first surface, extruding, and then making our second surface, and then extruding. That's the easiest way to make this one. And really the easiest way to make most of our puzzle pieces. So we'll come out and try some subtractive modeling later when we get into the actual assignment for 4.1G. But for our puzzle pieces, I think this is good for now. So if you have any questions, please ask your instructor. If you have any comments or you'd like to tell me something online, great. put a comment down in my video here. But give me some feedback. Let me know how you're doing. If you're having any trouble, if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.